Well, here we go again. As you can see over my shoulder, it's overcast, gray, and rainy. It's Thursday, and they expect 3 days of this. Today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And tonight, it may mix with or flip over to some wet snow for a few hours before it flips back over to rain. So, cold pattern right now will go with this rain because it's only 41 degrees right now, and it's supposed to drop down into the 30s tonight. But we had 2 nice days. We had Tuesday and Wednesday that were nice, but here we are again with 3 lousy ones. But we got 4 loads tonight to do, 2 down to Fogelsville and then 2 over to Allentown. So we will see how it goes and get you some footage along the way. Alright, first things first, diesel fuel. As I said, I always like to top off pre-shift if I can. Now let's see, okay, I get the good side of the island. I prefer to stay on the right side of the pumps. I just hope this guy isn't waiting. I hope he isn't waiting to go up there. I'm going to pull up next to him and kind of see if he's going to the pump next or if he's... Okay. Nope. I can go. He must have just went in the store to get stuff. Oop, cancel out that turn signal. Alright, fueling complete. Now we can go get our first load. We're going up to the Red Barn location. We'll be getting all 4 of them out of there today. He said 2 of them are going to go down to Fogelsville, and then 2 of them are going to go down to the Allentown airport. I don't want to block this guy's view. Now, normally at this time of day, it isn't too difficult to get out of here, but it looks like today is going to be a little bit different. 2 coming that way. There you got this triaxle coming. Maybe it won't be so bad. Looks like we got a good gap here. There we go. Now to try not to spin and slip going over the hump in the road. There we go. Plenty of time. Now we'll see how it goes today. I didn't hear anything either way, so I don't know if we're going to go down there and have to wait and unload one at a time, or if we'll be able to get right on and unload right away. As you know, every day seems to be different. Some days run great, some days run good, some days don't run so good. It just all depends. Sometimes a line breaks down, sometimes they have to do a PM on a line, and it's a 24/7 plant, so there's no good time to actually shut lines down, so they just do it when it's necessary, and that's the end result. Is sometimes it slows down a little bit on our end to unload, but you know, your necessary evils. If you don't do preventative maintenance on your equipment, then they break down even more, and that causes more problems than just doing a PM for an hour or 2 and making sure everything's working and getting it back up and running. So we shall see. Saw most of our day shift drivers come in when I was at the shop, so I don't know that too many are out right now, except for maybe our owner-operator. Let's see what we got here. Besides a kitty cat running across the road, a bunch of farm animals, farm cats here, and then the 2 roosters, of course. So you gotta kind of be careful coming in here, but they usually stay out of the way. Nope, nobody here yet. Our owner-operator's still parked, so I don't know if he's coming out later or if he has a day off today. Alright, so we're here loading up this first blind. We're going to take a walk down alongside the barn. There's a little overhang we can stand under where it's not raining, and then I can go inside. I got to call up the owners because there's something wrong with the computer that we enter our information into. Just you enter the information and then you just get the blue circle of death where it just isn't doing anything but sitting there and spinning. So I gotta call them, let them know there's some kind of malfunction going on. So all right, we'll talk to you later. Alright, so I called the well owners and I got that computer problem fixed up. It was just a matter of turning off the monitor and restarting the monitor. Something was hanging up on there. So got that all fixed, so shouldn't be a problem anymore the rest of the day. But right now I'm behind this oversized load, which I believe I'm going to, yep, he's going down Route 100. Looks like he's pulling a milling machine. So I don't know if I'll be able to time it right to get him on the KOA hill or not. I don't know how slow he's going to pull the hills. I don't know how heavy that thing is, but he's got triple axle trailer, and he's also got a triple axle tractor, but he's got that axle lifted up on the tractor, so maybe it's not overly heavy, so I don't know how much he's going to lose going up the hill. But anyway, we got this first one. We're heading down there to see what we got when we get there. He's actually moving along pretty good on the flats, so maybe we'll just ride it out behind him. There's a lot of traffic behind me. If I try to pass him and we get side by side, then we hold everybody up, and then he's either got to back out of it to let me in, or I got to back out of it and fall in behind him. So I think we'll just play it gentle, and we'll just ride up the hill behind him. He may not be as heavy as I am. He may have a pretty good motor in that thing. He can pull it pretty good, so rather than tie everything up, we'll just ride it out, because once we get up top, he's going to roll again. Sometimes you get guys come up this hill slow, and then once they get over the top and start going downhill, they don't want to, well, we're catching them. We're kind of catching them. I think we might get him. I think we might get him. He really slowed down. There's plenty of passing lane left here, even though the sign says the lane ends. That surprised me that he pulled down so slow. That thing must have a lot of weight to it. But we did it safe and legal. Now that guy kind of pushed the envelope a little bit, the guy in the red pickup truck, but it is what it is. He still got back in before the lane totally shut down. So, but yeah, I was kind of surprised I caught him like I did. I thought maybe I'd ride up behind him, but he really slowed down, so. All right, so nobody is here. It's just me at the moment, so day's starting off pretty good. Nobody waiting to unload. I didn't have to wait to unload. Lights are on. Silos have room in them. So first load going off without a hitch. Let's hope it stays that way for the second load, because once we go over to Allentown for number 3 and 4, we shouldn't have a problem over there. Usually don't have to wait on anybody. You can just hook up and unload right away. It's a whole different type of operation in over here. So hopefully our next load goes as good as this first one does. We'll be in good shape for the night. Well, things were going good. We got up here about a half a mile south of where 100 ends at 309, and we come to a screeching halt, so to speak. I don't know what's going on, if there's an accident up here at this intersection, but we usually don't end up getting backed up down here at this light, so something must be going on up here. So I don't know what the problem was. There is nothing going on up here. No emergency vehicles, no wrecked cars. Don't know why we stopped so far back, but that just really never happens. Not even at 5 o'clock in the afternoon when everybody's coming up from the valley to go home to the coal region after work. It's not usually that bad. So I don't know what caused that kind of a backup, unless somebody was broke down here and it took them a couple light cycles to get their car started or a truck started or whatever the case may be, and it held everything up and backed it up a little bit. But there's nothing going on here. Nothing. So it was an oversized load. We're moving along pretty good down the mountain, and I don't know if we'll get around the bend if you'll be able to see them, but I saw the flashing lights, and when I topped the hill, one of the triaxle drivers coming at me kind of flashed his lights to let me know to slow down. It is an oversized load. I guess that was the problem up there at the traffic light. I don't know if he's over width, over length, over height, or what the deal is, but he did slow things down a little bit. Not terribly slow. I mean, we're doing 40 miles an hour down the hill, so I can't complain. There's some oversized that'll be running at like 15, 20 miles an hour because they're just like that heavy. They weigh 200,000 pounds, 250,000 pounds, and they're just crawling down this hill. But no, this guy's going pretty good. There he is. I don't know if the camera picked it up. He's pretty far up there, but got something red on his trailer, and looks pretty big. All right, so we're here loading up the second one that's going down to Fogelsville, and I just want to show you guys this. Nothing is going to appear in this video from this camera today, but I'm testing it out to see what kind of a view I get while I'm driving. It's the camera that I used when I was doing my dropping hooks with the van, but I flipped it around to see if it'll do a pretty cool over-the-shoulder look while I'm driving, just to change things up a little bit, give you a little different perspective on what's kind of a boring running up and down the same highway. Maybe if I can switch up camera angles, it can try to keep them interesting for you. All right, so last time we were here, nobody was on the pad. This time we've got one on the pad, and it looks to me like we are going to have to back up onto the pad today because there's really nowhere to turn around down there with this non-turning radius truck. So we're going to have to do ourselves a back from here. Came close to doing that in one shot. I wanted to stay one away from the other driver, but I almost got it in one shot. This is the one I wanted. So second one is done. We are rolling on out of here. It is 3:28 p.m. So we did good today. Easy in, easy out, no delays. So that puts us ahead of the game for going over to Allentown on our next two. And like I said, when we're loading up there, I'm going to look at the at Google Maps and see what 22 is going to look like. But I have a feeling we'll get up there at 4 o'clock. We will finish loading and get out of there about 4:30. And we are going to hit 22 at the worst possible time. So we may just scoot up and around. And what do we got going on here? Okay. We'll be able to get through. If he would have laid back here at the stop sign where he was supposed to, when that left side opened up, he could have went over there. All right, so we're here picking up load number 3. A little more traffic than usual coming up here. It took a little bit longer, but not too bad. And it started raining now, so it's going to be a wet rest of the day, I believe, looking at radar. So I'm not sure which way we're going to go yet. We may go 248 over to Airport Road and across the northern part of the valley, or we may go down to 22 depending on what Google Maps shows me. If there's a lot of traffic on 22 and it looks pretty bad, we'll go across the top. So I just looked at Google Maps, and it's actually 3 minutes slower to go 248 Airport Road than it is to go sit down in traffic on 22. So 601, half dozen of the other. A lot more miles and hills and stuff going the other way. All right, so they're fixing to get on to 78 22 East. As you can see by the sign up here, heading toward Allentown. like I told you up there at the well, when I looked at Google Maps and compared the routes, it was actually 3 minutes faster to come down here to 22 and take it across the valley, even with the rush hour traffic, as opposed to taking 248 up around the top and an airport road down. Quite a few lights on 248, quite a few up and down hills, speed limit restrictions. I guess that's what plays into it. Not to mention the fact that it's just more miles, you know. You're kind of sort of going out of the way a little bit. You're going northeast to drop back down south into Allentown. The only reason that would be the best way to go would be as if there was a wreck on 22 that had it shut down or really, really slow. But if it's just normal rush hour traffic, then probably just as good to go across this way. Our other driver that goes across the top like that, he says he doesn't like sitting in traffic, but if it's the same time either way, what's the difference? Because you can't keep moving at a good speed up there. Like I said, there's too many rolling hills to slow you down and then pick you up and then slow you down and then pick you up and so forth and so on. So we'll see what we encounter across here. I don't know if this sign tells us anything about times coming up here. We've got a matrix sign here that flashes PA 512 VAU 22 13 miles 30 minutes. So yeah, about 20-25 minutes to get to Airport Road from here. So it's probably still shorter than going the other way. Alright, so we're here unloading the third one. We didn't get here in too bad a time despite the 22 traffic, which wasn't as bad as it could have been, so all things considered, we did alright getting over here. Probably would have taken longer to go across 248 and down Airport Road. So we did good getting here. Takes about 20 minutes to unload here, just like the other place, so we're not going to be here all that long, and we'll be rolling back up to get the fourth one. So we'll talk to you later on as the rest of the day goes on. I don't know how much more I'll do, but we'll show you more coming down here on that last one. Well, this ain't good. Traffic is just about at a standstill here. We're empty and heading back to get that fourth one, and traffic is just about at a standstill here. I'll have to see where we're going to want to try to get out at and who's going to let us out. And then you've got those who are just going to run up the shoulder down there to the very end. I think somebody's going to let me out once people move. Yep, somebody's gonna let me out. Once I get completely out, I'll give them the 4 ways and thank them for letting me out. Might be an accident somewhere for it to be this slow. But yeah, we are hardly moving here. And nobody says anything on the CB anymore, and if you ask, nobody answers you back anyway. So I don't know, the CB's a dying breed, so it's not helpful like it used to be 10, 15, 20 years ago. Like, you know, people would always tell you what was going on. If you asked, they'd tell you. A lot of times you knew ahead of time, but... Alright, so we're loading up the last one here. It is 7 o'clock, and it's raining. And just to show you how cold it is, if you look at the radar I'm going to show you, up at Hazelton it's snowing, and up by Wilkes-Barre Scranton it's snowing. So I'm kind of glad I didn't get one of the Hazelton van loads tonight, because it'd be go up there, probably not stick to the ground, but it's cold enough to be snowing up there, so it's probably plenty cold. Not a place I want to go tonight. Alright, we're just about done. We'll talk to you a little more later on. Alright, so we are here with the fourth one. Almost dark, but we are here. Guess somebody is going to spend the night and deliver here in the morning. The way they were parked down there in that circle. got to go around the back of the building here. That's where our unload station is. Get rid of the spots on the windshield. It's been raining intermittently, like all but stops, and then it rains a little harder, and then it all but stops, and then it rains a little harder. But that's good though. We haven't gotten soaked wet yet, so. It's just kind of, it's not a drizzle, it's raindrops, but it's kind of light. Probably messing with the camera though, especially with the light right here. But we're here. All right, so that last load is delivered. We are on our way home. You see 22 there to our right, or no, that's Airport Road. My bad, ramp to 22, but Airport Road. We're coming around the bend here, parallel Airport Road for a minute, and then you got to kind of hook somewhat of a U-turn to get on the Airport Road and then get on the 22 westbound. Airport's off there to our left. Now, let's see how we do here. It is a yield sign, but do we have the gap to go? Yes, we do. No traffic coming. And away we go. 22 should be in a lot better shape than it was on the last load. And that was an accident. There was two vehicles parked on the shoulder. It was a minor little fender bender, but had everything jammed up. But it was only about a half a mile up from where this ramp dumps onto the freeway, so we didn't wait very long in it. But yeah, it should be moving along pretty good now. It's 8:30. So now it just, I mean, there's volume on the freeway, there's traffic. It's the Lehigh Valley, and pretty good population living down here, but it won't be jammed up like it is at rush hour, or worse yet when there's an accident. Anyway, easy out here. Oh, I don't need full wipers. Need some, but not full. It's just a light rain, nothing real heavy. We didn't get wet or anything today, so that was a good thing. I'm not sure what tomorrow is going to be like. It's supposed to rain tomorrow too. I don't know if it's going to be heavier than today or not. We will see. Alright, so sitting kind of this way in the truck to finish out the videos works best when it's dark out, because there's no light up above the windshield, so everything is alongside and behind. So we'll just use the light that the truck has and turn around and look at you this way. So that's it for today. We're back at the yard. We did all our paperwork and everything, and all we got to do now is go out there and kick the tires and check the lights, make sure everything's good to go for tomorrow. So I don't know if we'll do a video tomorrow or not. Depends on what I'm assigned, if it's anything interesting or not. If not, then I will do one next week. So we'll talk to you then.